Good evening, members of Spiritual Encrypted Encounters here on Facebook, those who follow me on YouTube, and those who follow my short reel TikToks under ApeCS. How's everybody doing this evening? I hope everybody is doing great. I need to get better on when I'm going to make a video, put it out ahead of time. But sometimes what happens, brothers and sisters, the reason I don't do that is sometimes with the meds that I take, it kind of like makes me doze off and stuff. So that's one of the reasons why I don't do that. That I set a certain time to do a video, because the meds that I take, sometimes they when they hit me, the medicines, they make me doze off. And that's what happened this evening. I was going to make the video earlier. I just happened to wake up because, blood thinners, when you take blood thinners, it makes your blood thin, in which sometimes it makes you doze off. That's what happened. It's kind of like when you have high blood pressure, too much high blood pressure medicine in your system, it makes you do the same thing at times. So how's everybody doing this evening? I hope everybody's doing great. I need to get better at doing that, at making this video. So I'm doing Sister Dawn. How's everybody doing this evening? I hope everybody's doing great. I was listening to Brother Cuffington's video on YouTube about a certain individual that they call I call him Dirty Fault. The reason I call him Fault, which his nickname is Vault, Vaultinator, Vaultalize. I call him Fault is because I have no respect for this individual. I have no respect for this individual at all as a human being, for the thing that he's done to women, the people that he's robbed. But the most important thing for me that I dislike this fella is for stolen valor. Pretending he is a badass, pretending he served the military, in which he never served the military. To me, that's not an individual at all. And to me, just a plain old liar. If he says you serve the country, and the people that take the oath to do it, they really take the oath to do it. I was hearing the story, they were talking about that. You go to a basic training. After basic training, you got to do AIT. And after AIT, they send you to your unit, where you go serve your first 4 years, 2 years, 3 years. I served 4 years right off the bat. Which my first duty station was Erlangen, Germany. That was my first duty station with 135 Armor in Ferris Barracks. I was with 135 Armor Brigade. It was in Erlangen, Germany. I believe this guy, Dirty Vault, he said he was a pallbearer for, was it the sniper that passed away, Chris something. That's a lie. The reason I know it's a lie is because in the military, depends what branch. In every branch, there's a detail for that, in which the detail comes from certain companies, from certain battalions or brigades or divisions. There's a detail for that kind of stuff that units have to fulfill. So out of a whole battalion, one company gets selected to be ball bearers. So there's an NCO, IC in charge of that, in which there's the soldiers that are the pallbearers, and there's an NCO that's in charge of those soldiers that are performing that duty, right? So these individuals, they all come from the same company, So when I heard about this guy that, I'm talking about stolen valor, but this is what it is stolen valor, that he was there as a pallbearer, and they'll never mix up a different branches to do a detail like that. the details go to, like, Army has its own detail, the Marines have their own detail, the Navy has their own detail, and it's for the soldiers that are serving under that branch. So when this guy tried to say that he was part of that, but he was in the military, in the Army, but this was the Navy, you know, the sniper guy belonged to the Navy, that was a lie. So I'm here to talk about this because, you know, it upsets me. Like, when I met this guy, the first time I ever met him, it was through through Messenger. You know, this guy was there cleaning a old ass rusted weapon, pretending to be a badass. You know, he was pretending to be a badass. Like, people are supposed to fear this guy because he's got so many stories to say of things that he's done, in which all those stories have been a lie. You know, he's deceived a lot of people. I call him dirty fault. Fault as in he's a liar. You know, he was pretending to be a badass, but I could see right through him. You know, right off the bat, I remember that I told these people, "Hey, watch out for this guy. You know, this guy is full of crap." You know, I could see right through him. You know, I'm prior military. You know, I get the honor of where I've been because of what I've served and what I've done in the military. But this guy here, he was pretending to be a badass. You know, and I could see right through him. You know, how could I know he wasn't a badass? Because I'm a badass. What I've done and where I've been. You know, in order for you to be, anybody could get dog tags and place around the neck and pretend to be a soldier. Anybody could put a cap on their head and pretend to be a soldier or a veteran. But you have to have some kind of proof or some kind of evidence. How you doing, cousin Jesus Carvajal, Prima Maria, Marcy? How you doing? You have to have some kind of proof or evidence that you serve in the military, right? So I'm going to show you some of the things that you're supposed to have. You know, me, I kept a souvenir when I got out of the military to prove that I served in the military, and I have it with me in my wallet all the time with me because it's something that means a lot to me, and it's right here. It's my old military ID, right here. That's me back when I got out in 1999. That's me right there. When I served the United States Army, I kept that as a souvenir, just in case, you know, just in case somebody tried to question me serving the military. Another thing that I have that proves that I'm a real American veteran is my VA card from the military. There's another evidence that somebody could use to say, okay, instead of people not believing that I serve in the military, I'm going to show them the proof. I'm going to show them my old military ID or proof that you're a veteran through showing your VA card, right? You're going to show the proof that you serve the United States Army, and you're going to have a VA card, right, with your picture on it that proves that you serve in the military. In order for you to obtain a military card like that, you have to have some kind of records, right, in which you have to enroll yourself in the system through the VA. So I'm going to show you one more time, brothers and sisters, for whoever is viewing. And I'm talking about the stolen Valor and dirty vault. In order for you to have this VA military card, you have to have some kind of proof that you served in the United States Army, in which the Army keeps a record of those that serve in the military and those that are serving. They keep a record. So in order for them to enroll you in the VA, you got to have some kind of records, military records, right? Military records. There, I'll say it right there. What did it say right there? So this goes to you, dirty fault. Show me your proof that you serve in the military. You know, you say you serve in the military and you're full of lies. Right here is my military records. My military records of when I entered the military. It got all the things of when I entered the military. It's got medals. It's got PT test. It's got the different companies I've been in. You got to have some kind of military records, right? That's got your name. It's got all your information. It's got your name, your social security, where you're entered in the military, where you got recruited at, and it's also got where you've been at. You know, so you got to have that kind of proof. In which that proof I got it right here. A manila folder with all the proof that I serve in the military, right? And this Dirty Vault is the same guy that the other people that are fake like him come up against people like me trying to bring the spiritual aspect, trying to say, oh, that guy's crazy, he's a veteran, but I'm a real veteran. So I'm showing you the proof. Some of the things you're supposed to have. I can even show it a little bit closer for y'all. Another thing, like in this one, I have everything mixed. I have a lot of paperwork in here, right, on my medical records. That's another thing that you should have. Another thing that you have to prove that you were in the military, that you served the United States Army, would be if you were in combat, right? If you were in combat. If you're in combat, you should have something to say you were in combat, right? What happens when you go to combat and you fight for your country? You get medals. So from those medals, they give you certificates. I got one here right now. I'm going to show y'all right now of when I was in the Battle of Medina Ridge. Let me see. I can find it real quick. Here we go. Let me get the one for Operation Desert Storm, brothers and sisters. Well, there's some other medals that I have. I'm going to show them to y'all. When I served in the United States Army, there's a certificate achievement, or Army Achievement Medal. There's another Army Achievement Medal, and another one. Here's when I served in Operation Desert Storm. You see that? A certificate of commendation when I served in Operation Desert Storm, brothers and sisters. And the colonel's name is down here, Fredericks. That's when I served in Operation Desert Storm. See that? In the yellow, what did it say there? Operation Desert Storm. That's a medal right there to show proof of where I've been in combat. Which was in the battle. I was in Operation Desert Storm in the Battle of Medina Ridge. And I'm looking for that other certificate of Operation Desert Storm. Of when I served. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I just got to look for it, but I'm going to continue making this video. This is when I was in Germany. I was called an Iron Knight, and I got to be in. I was in 132 Armor in Fort Hood, and then became 212 Cav. And this is a certificate I got when I got cross-attached with the infantry. I was with 15 Cav. I went with 15 Cav back to guard the borders. And this is the certificate that I got from 15 Cav right there, as y'all can see. Black Knights. They were called Black Knights. So those are some of the proofs that you can have to prove that you was in the military. But the most important one out of them all, brother and sisters, is called, I'm going to show it to y'all right now. It's called a Did2 Form 214. The Did2 Form 214 is one piece of paper that's got your name, it's got where you're from, it's got the time you entered in the military, the time you left the military, where you've been overseas, it's got all your medals, it's got everything that you've done in the United States Army, which is a piece of paper that's got all your information. That's proof right here. This I can use as an ID to prove of who I am. I can carry it in my pocket. So if somebody asks me who I am, I can show them this letter of where I've been, who I am, because it's got all my information on there. So, Dirty Vault, you know, for you to say you claim to be in the military and all this, where's your Did2 14? If you say you were in the military, where's your Did2 14? That's got all your information. So right there, brothers and sisters, I've showed you. This is the main one. If he really wants to prove himself innocent, that he was really a served the United States Army in some kind of way, shape, or form, show me your Did2 14, buddy. Which apparently you don't got, because if you did had, you were already showing it, and everybody coming at you in a negative way, you've already showed your evidence of who you were or what you did in the military. Look, I even got my diploma when I graduated PLDC, which was it was a course you had to go through to become an NCO. Here's my graduation diploma for that. You know, some people might be this guy's friend, but I dislike liars, especially people trying to, that have stolen valor, pretending to be somebody that they ain't. That's a disrespect to me and to all my brothers and sisters that have served, those that are not here anymore, those who have died in combat, and those that are still alive, struggling in their lives. This is a disrespect to us. So that's why I'm making this video right now. Yeah, it's kind of like, that's why I'm making this video right now. And those people that try to cover for this guy that's full of lies, that's full of crap, shame on you. To me, when you protect a person like this, you're the same as him, a piece of crap. And that's coming from a real American hero, somebody that served in the military, not just served in military, but was in combat, in actual combat, in Operation Desert Storm, in the Battle of Medina Ridge. I was out there placing my life on the line for some idiot named Volt to come and try to have stolen valor, pretend he served in the military when he never served in the military. That's BS, straight up BS. And those who are his friends, I don't care, give or care who the hell you are. You agree to what this guy is doing, stolen valor, then you're full of crap too. I don't care who you are. But they're just to let you know, brother and sisters, when I say my stories, and I've showed you the proof right there, boom, right off the bat before I start this video. I dislike people. I dislike liars, like this individual. I dislike liars, people that are out there just for the money, that are pretending to be, whether they're pretending to be ex-military, which they never served in the military, stolen valor, whether they pretend to be a religious person, but they're living in sin and they have no religious bone in the body, but they use Jesus Christ's name in vain, to attract their viewership, and blasphemy, a lot of blasphemy, because they lie to the people that view the videos, that they even make up stories. They make up stories of the encounters that they have just for the views. That's ridiculous. That's just plain ridiculous, brother and sisters. When somebody does that, I don't think that's right. That's just crazy. Let me see. I have the other paperwork somewhere. I have a big packet with all kinds of paperwork. Look at this, a big packet where I have all my information, all my paperwork. But anyways, I'm going to put some of this stuff up back in my packet so I won't lose it. There you go. That's simple. I showed different proofs of who I am, that I'm the real deal, that I did serve in the United States Army, just like there's other veterans. I know there's other veterans that might not have the same opinions that I do, because maybe they never really was involved. They might have been out there as support of people that really seen something in action. They were really in action. They really witnessed something. So there's some people that are in the military that were still out there and they have the combat patches, but they didn't see no combat. That's the difference between those individuals, but they still get a combat patch because they were out there. So there's different kinds of support, right? The people supporting the field, people supporting the food, the ammunition. There's different kinds of support, the mechanics, different kinds of supports, but they still served also, in which, since they were out there in war, they also get the combat patch. But then you have the people that were really in actual combat, right? Like the paperwork that I showed you where I was at, they actually were in a battle of, like I was in the Battle of Medina Ridge, in which we had to fight the enemy, tank to tank battles. I got that proof also. But I'm just making this video right now because I heard Sir Couplington's video of Dirty Vault or Fault, and I just had to do this. It's like, to me, if you want answers about this guy, just talk to me, because I served in the military 10 years. I was in the Army, so I know about the details of the pallbearers, where they come from, because they go to the units and the battalions, and the battalions volunteer a company, and the company supplies the soldiers and the NCO to do the pallbearer detail, and we've done it in the past, because you rotate and take turns doing that detail. It's like a month detail, and then they'll give it to somebody else, and stuff like that. And there's different kinds of details in that nature in the military. But I would just wanted to talk about that, to show the proof of these things. I don't know what I did to my other paperwork that I had here, but I was just giving you a little bit of how should I say, proof that somebody that's pretending to be a soldier or that served in the military, they should have the proof that I just showed y'all, of when I served. I showed y'all my proof. But yes, brothers and sisters, to me that's an insult when somebody pretends to be, of course, there's people that's going to lie. They're gonna lie to people to see somebody because they're what do you call them? People that lie all the time. So if they can see somebody that's buying into the BS, they're going to continue to lie to them as much as possible to gain something out of them, right? Whether they get them to believe in the stories that they're saying about them. But in order, that's what I say, identify yourself, show proof of who you really are. You said you were in a pallbearer detail. And in order for you to be in that detail, you got to be part of the company that's assigned to do the detail. You should say the name of your company. You should have the Did2 Form that I just showed you. For you've been in the military, you should have some certificates. You should be able to present your medical records. That's got not just your medical records, but it's got all your records from the military when you're serving in the military. If you got an old ID, show your old ID. If you're a veteran, show your VA card that you served the military, just like I showed here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. But yes, brothers and sisters, that's one thing I dislike is people that lie. And this guy, like I said before, though, I've only seen him one time when they brought him in to talk in the little panel when we were talking through Messenger, and I did not like this individual since day one that I said I seen him, because I knew that he was full of it, that he was lying. I tried to tell everybody that he's lying. I'll try to tell everybody he was infiltrating, and nobody believed me. Nobody believed me, but Sergeant Cias knew what he was talking about. That's one thing about Sergeant Cias. He knows when somebody's real, and he knows when somebody's full of it. So he could tell. But nobody believed me. They were believing the liar. They were believing this guy's lies, man. It's crazy, and I could see right through them, It's kind of like, it's like having regular people, and there's a vampire in the room. You seen the fangs and everything, right? Well, I could see this guy sitting in this little panel that he was full of it, and I was looking right at him, and I could tell he was full of it, that he was full of crap, So it's kind of like, I don't have a collar on me right now, but he was the type of person that he already got a lot of people believing his lies, that he was pulling up his collar because all these people were believing the lies that he was a real badass. He wasn't a badass at all. He was a lying ass. That's what he was. But anyways, besides that, I already proved the things that he can do to prove to the viewers the things that he said, to the people that he said that he was in the military. Show the proof. I showed you my proof. Show us the proof. If you don't show your proof, then that's a stake in the coffin, or a nail in the coffin, that you're a liar, plain and simple. And I don't care who's affiliated with you. If they accept you being a liar, well, then that the credibility to me, they become part of you, a liar also. That's how I see it. And I dislike people of stolen valor. They pretend to be somebody they ain't. And that's dirty vault, whatever you want to call them. A guy full of lies. I know Brother Sir Cuffington is been getting a lot of evidence from a lot of people that are talking about bad against him because he's done him wrong, and which is another reason I dislike him. But to me, I already knew he was a liar from day one, the first time I seen him. And I could tell the discrepancy of what comes out of his mouth. There's one thing about a liar, brothers and sisters, is when a liar tries to cover a lie with another lie, eventually the truth is going to come out. Well, the truth has come out 100% on this guy, that he's full of crap. Just like the other joker from Oklahoma. I don't even talk about him no more. That guy was full of lies, full of crap also. I'll just call him like he called me, I'm calling the Red Circle Lion King, uh, Lion Mikey. That guy was full of crap. None of these individuals, when they were coming at me in a negative way, took the Sarn Shias challenge. None of them. It didn't matter. It was Dirty Vault, Lion Ike, uh, Jabba the Hutt, the Swamp Jabba the Hutt, and his other buddy, Darkweed Dunk, or yeah, his other buddy that works for him. None of them took the Sarn Shias challenge. You know, they were talking a big game, but they never took the challenge. So I said, you know what, this guys here are not worth my time, so I'm going to stop talking about them. But the only reason I'm talking about this today is because I dislike people that pretend to say they're serving the military and that they're stolen valor. I dislike those kind of people because they're not real. And there's people that lost their lives. Number one, people have lost their lives in combat. They never made it back. There's people that are suffering right now in the United States Army or as veterans that are suffering right now. That's the reason I dislike people that pretend to be stolen valor. That they supposedly were in the military, but they never served. They never took an oath. That's why I'm making this video right now. How you doing, cousin? Cousin Susie. Yeah, now that I've talked about these losers, we could say I'm putting them on, not on, well, yeah, you could say spiritual blessed also, you know, because it shows the character of what's within this individuals. You know, it's kind of like if they're saying they serve the military, but they have no proof or no evidence to serve. That's a liar. That's a liar right off the bat, right? So if they're part of the Christian community and they supposedly had an encounter with Bigfoots and Dogmans and they have all this kind of stories, but they're already proven just now. If he cannot come out with this proof that I just showed, that's making him a constant liar. And that means that the stories that he says of what he's seen or witnessed are lies also. So who's going to believe a liar? I ain't, you know. That's for sure. I'm talking about the Vaultinator and anybody affiliated with them trying to create a story or movies from a lie. No, you're full of it, guys. You're full of it, and you need to thank your buddy Lion Vault for messing up your fake movie that you're trying to create, or fake book or whatever. I believe y'all might have created a fake book already, but your buddy Dirty Vault is being placed on blast here by a real person that served the United States Army. Show me your proof, buddy. If you can't show me your proof that you served the military, then your story that you spoke of is a lie also. A liar like you. And all the people that you've hurt in a negative way, they've already talked bad about you. So I don't have to do that. There's already people that said the stories you've done to them in which you're full of crap. And there's no fear here in Sarn Shias from a dirty vault liar. You know, I'm talking about this guy. You know, I put him out on spiritual blast because I have to. As a real American veteran that has friends that have passed away because of medical conditions while they're serving the United States Army that affected them, and they're not here no more. I have to talk in honor of, while there's breath in me, I have to talk in honor about the real people that serve in the military that are not here amongst us. That's why I'm putting this guy on blast. While I still have breath in me and I have strength, I will go against anybody pretending to be stolen valor of the United States Army or any branch. If I have the breath and the strength, I will stand up for my fallen brothers that are not here amongst us no more. That's why I'm making this video. But now to get away from that, now that I spoke that, let me see what time it is. I promised my wife that I was going to make a quick video. I've been on here for a little bit. So I'm just going to finish it up with the spiritual aspect out of it, brothers and sisters. I want to say thank you to all the people that support, view, comment on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters here on Facebook. Those that speak to me or comment on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters on YouTube. Those that like my short reels on TikTok. I really appreciate y'all. But also the ones that support me 100% here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. I want to say thank y'all. Thank you for being here with me, following the ride of what I've been trying to create for a couple of years now. And it's growing and growing, I want to talk about the pictures. I want to talk about the pictures, like the most recent picture where you could see this DDN or demonic beings, and you could see a skinwalker. The circle, there's two, and there's a circle below. You could see the face of the native right there, which is the picture I placed last night. Look, these areas that I go to, when people ask me, do they ever try to attack you? Yes, they try to spiritually attack me all the time. They make noises around me, they run around me, they charge at me where you could hear footsteps coming at me. So when I hear the footsteps coming at me and they're coming at me real hard and very close, I top bind and rebuke them in Jesus Christ's name. And I have to. I start praying within myself. That when they try to say something to me in English, or they say something to me in Spanish, or they say something to me in a different dialect, I'm not trying to pay attention to all that because they want me to believe in them, because they're trying to find a spiritual opening, right? When I catch the short reels of when they're moving super fast, beyond regular speed, which means they are not of this world, right? They're from a different dimension, because the way they move faster than the wind. They move faster than the wind. When you say wind, we can say wendigos, right? When they move faster than the wind, they move fast. And I got short reels of that. I've shown my proof, and there's numerous times that sometimes I will see them with a naked eye when they will move that fast. But they do try to attack me spiritually. Last time that I went out there, they managed to jump on my back. So last week, when I made that video out in the woods, all week long, even through Thanksgiving, I was feeling pain on my left side and on my back. So if they jumped on my back and I could feel weight on me, what does that mean? They have the capabilities. So when they jump on you or spiritually attack you, that they're in between, but they still have weight on them. For me to be able to feel weight on me and to weigh me down and hurt my back because of the weight, it's like lifting weights, right? Imagine like 300 pounds lying on your shoulders, and then you feel pain on your lower back. It's like you're doing deadlifts. Well, that's what it felt when I was walking. It felt like somebody jumped on my back, or somebody jumped on you trying to do the pony ride on you. So you got that extra weight on me. That's how it felt. And it was dragging my left side. So I stood up and I started praying. I said, I type by rebuke in Jesus Christ's name, and I got out of the area. But it affected me because I was feeling pain for a couple of days, for almost a whole week. I was feeling pain on my left side. So they do have capabilities. And no, it wasn't a flesh and blood creature that was on me. It was a DDN, a disembodied demonic form, that I couldn't see it on me, but the weight was there, that it weighed me down and it hurt me. That's a capability if it can weigh me down and I can feel pain like that on my lower back, imagine what it can do. That will mean that it will be able to grab somebody that might have a spiritual opening and drag them or lift them up in the air. If it can jump on you with weight, then it will be able to lift you up with strength. It will be able to drag you with strength and power, even though it's not here 100% in the flesh. It has that ability to do it in disembodied form. It has the ability to pick up a piece of wood, chunk a piece of wood. It has a capability to throw a rock at you. He has a capability. I remember after I done a video at night, I think I had one viewer, and when I was in the parking lot of where I was parked, I remember I heard the hoof marks where it was running towards me. It was literally running towards me. You could hear the hoof marks. Boom, hoof. Listen to me. Hoof sounds. The hoof sounds like something running towards me. Not nail sounds or claw sounds. Hoof sounds. Something running towards me on the pavement. You could hear the tap, 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 running towards me. So I said, I rebuke you in Jesus. And when I said, I rebuke you, it stopped. But it was coming towards me. The same hoof sounds, I've heard it here at my house one day that I was coming inside my home where something was running towards me on the street. You could hear the hoof sounds. And then you heard the hoof sounds running on my sidewalk as I was opening the door, coming behind me. You know, I remember when that would happen to me in Elms Grove, that it wasn't just hoof sounds or sounds of something running towards you. You could also feel the impact because it will make impact. It will hit me and I will fly 4 or 5 feet, you know. But what I've been doing is staying stronger, placing Jesus Christ first, having a love foundation. I've done the forgiveness in which it makes me that much spiritually strong to be able to fight these unseen forces, in which I can tie, bind, and rebuke them in Jesus Christ's name. And not just me, but you. If you're spiritually ready, spiritually prepared, and you're walking a good path in life, you're able to do that yourself. Take authority over them. Don't be afraid of them. Don't give them power through fear. But they do that to me all the time, brothers and sisters, where they're running. I wish that I could have like a camera around me so y'all can hear, what I witness when they run towards me. Like literally run. And I understand if it was a running of like feet, like of somebody, but this is a running of hoofs. To me, the running of hoofs would be kind of like the herd, right? The legion, where it went into the swine and pigs. The pigs have hoofs, or something demonic. Demons have hoofs, right? So that's what it sounds like when they're running. They run at me. It sounds like you could hear it like the hoofs on the pavement where they're running towards me, and I'm looking at where the sound is coming. It's coming directly at me. So what I do, I take authority over it, and I say, I tie and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name. And that's what I do. I'm talking to you in real truth of what I experienced. And sometimes, in order for you to catch that kind of activity, brothers and sisters, when I go out there, y'all know I go by myself. I really don't take nobody. I wouldn't mind taking one person or two, but we keep it to a minimum of nobody really saying nothing, because when there's too many people, it can cause disturbance in what you're trying to do. Maybe one person I wouldn't take, but that person would have to be spiritual ready, because I wouldn't want nothing to happen to that individual if they're not spiritual ready, that they could get spiritually attacked. I go ready and they come at me hard, you know, when I'm out there. So I wouldn't want nothing to happen to anybody. You know, when you hear about the 411 cases of missing people, what they do, brothers and sisters, if you have a spiritual opening, they'll possess you. They'll semi-possess you or possess you because they are demonic. So the person that it possesses might lose time of They might lose the track of time. You hear it all the time through the people that supposedly get abducted by UFOs, that they don't remember what happened, that they're laying down, they woke up, 2-3 hours passed by, they think they were abducted. Well, to me, I don't think you're really abducted. To me, you might have been possessed, that it drained your energy and you passed out. So when you wake up, you're not going to remember nothing because you lost track of time. They have those capabilities. You might have gotten semi-possessed. That the things that you might remember is maybe the things that they want you to remember, that they might implant in you spiritually, or to make you think you got abducted by UFO. But that's what they do. I've seen it where people get possessed by them. They use them as how should I say, as hosts. I've battled people spiritually that have been possessed through this DDN or Legion or whatever you want to call them. They come up to me and they'll say something. I already know that it's not the individual saying this to me, that it's this unseen forces talking, using them, sending me a message. So what I do, I tie, bind, and rebuke them in Jesus Christ's name. When I do that, they flee. The person drops, but they don't remember. They don't know what's going on. You know. So I tried to talk to them to see what was going on with them at the time that they got possessed. I never say you got possessed, but they don't remember what happened to them because they lost a track of time. So they don't know exactly what they were doing. They might have known what they were doing for a little bit, but they don't remember the time lapse that they lost, where they might have been possessed or being used. Could have been 30 minutes, it could have been an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Some of these individuals, God rest their souls. When we talk about suicide, some of those individuals that have either jumped in front of a vehicle, gone through a main highway out of nowhere and just jump in the middle of the highway, jump off of a bridge. I believe they've been possessed, and suicide wasn't really in their mind, but they might have had a spiritual opening that these unseen forces possessed them, and instead of that letting the host live, they destroyed the host by making them jump up a bridge, by making them jump in the middle of a highway, by making them drive uncontrollably in their vehicles. That's what they do. You know, for anybody that has a spiritual opening, that's what they do. For those people that are missing 401 cases, they could have been possibly possessed, you know, for hours or longer. You know, when you hear about Wendigoism, could have been possessed for hours living in the woods, but the body can only go so long without water, without food. So if an individual is being possessed for days and they're not eating nothing, they're not drinking water, what happens to the body? The body gives out. Once the body gives out, the what's possessing the body leaves the body, and the body drops, and that's it. The individual is stuck in Timbuktu because they don't know where they're at. They have no strength to move, so they die. That's what the DDN does. That's what the Legion does. That's what Satan does. That's what anything demonic does. I'm bringing you the spiritual aspect and nobody wants to talk about it. I want to talk about it because I know that's what the case is with a lot of people that are missing. You know, people want to say, oh, is this Bigfoot? Oh, this Dogman. No, it's the DDN that's doing this. What happens to a body that has no strength and they're dying out there? What's out there in the wild? There's wild animals, right? You got coyotes, you got mountain lions, you got different animals that are out there. And they're looking for food. So what do? They go eat the person or the body that's left behind after being possessed, that's left behind in Timbuktu in the woods. They don't even know. You know, imagine somebody being possessed, you hear it all the time when they talk about it, when they say, the devil made me do it, right? And those are the people that already committed a crime and they don't remember what they did. They said that the devil made them do it. I believe those individuals that they don't remember what they did. Just like, imagine those that get possessed and they wake up, they get unpossessed when the demon leaves their body, but they're out there in the middle, in the woods somewhere where they don't know where they're at. They don't know which way to go, north, south, east, or west. So they're trapped out there. Or imagine them waking up in a creek, or waking up in a cave, you know, or a location that is beyond where civilization is, and they don't know which way to go. Like I said, the body can only last so long without water and without food. And there's a lot of people, I believe, that has crossed over this way. That are the missing people, 411 cases that they're missing. Another thing about that is this DDN, disembodied demonic Nephilim, or you want to call them demons, whatever you want to call them, the Jinn. It's kind of like a skinwalker, right? I mean, the skinwalkers, they got their abilities from the demons, from the disembodied demonic Nephilim, from for anything demonic, Lucifer, you know, the necromancy and witchcraft. That's where they're learning from. Or else from them. They have those abilities of shape-shifting. They have the ability of mimicking their voices, mimicking different voices. So these beings, they have the ability to mimic every voice of what they possessed, right? And what they've destroyed. They have the ability to mimic the voice, to take that form, and to mimic it. So imagine how many people that are missing in this world that they have those abilities too. When Jesus Christ came, right, to free his people, he went into hell to free his people that were innocent. So imagine there's a lot of people, even till this day, that have been deceived by the unseen forces, and some of them have been deceived that imagine waking up in a whole other dimension and becoming a prisoner because they went in through a portal or a dimension, and these people were waking up in the hell realm, and then in another dimension. They're being prisoners, right? They're being prisoners. So, you know, there's a lot of things that are going to happen when that time comes. But just think of it that way. You can't just think of it as that the Bigfoot took them or a dogman took them. No, there's other forces. They take them. They take them because they have spiritual openings. They take them because the opportunity is there, and they don't know what happened to them because it's too late. I just wanted to talk about that, you know, for those that know about the balance, that believe the battle between good and evil. Those are the ways those things can happen. And of course, you got the others that believe in worship, Lucifer, the witches and warlocks. They get their powers through the yang, through the negative, because of things that were promised and worshipped. But they think it's power, but it's really not power. It's a downgrade, because we, as children of God, already have power over what's below us, what's beneath us, because we are greater than that, because heaven is our birthright. We have the opportunity to make it into heaven. So anybody that's making any kind of deals or made any kind of deals, you all been deceived. You've been tricked, because you are greater than that. We're destined for greatness through the Heavenly Father. So anybody that thinks they have some kind of power because they worship these things that are below us, well, you really are not getting any kind of power. It's a downgrade. It's like going to a used car salesman. because the power of Jesus Christ and what he blesses us with is a lot greater than anything below us that got casted from heaven could give anybody. They're just deceiving people and tricking people. They're deceiving people from the birthright, from making it into the kingdom of heaven. And I know there's a lot of people that worship other things that dislike what I have to say, but I'm going to say it how it is. I'm going to speak in truth. They even know what I'm saying is the truth. They know that what they worship is not really as strong as they think it is. But once you meddle with that, maybe they're trying to get out. There is a way to get out, brothers and sisters. Those who are still meddle with the dark arts. All you got to do is believe in Jesus Christ, change your ways, worship him, ask for forgiveness, repent for your sins. It's never too late to change your ways. But like I said, it's a personal choice of how people want to be. Some people, they don't want change. They want to live in what was taught to them. They want to continue the path that was shown to them by their ancestors from those before them. But if the Heavenly Father guides me, like he's guiding me to do this works, then I know that I have the permission to do the things that I'm doing. The things that I'm doing is through permission, through the Heavenly Father, that he allows me to do this works. That's why I do this works and I talk. And I know that I can speak freely about it, whether people believe me or people don't believe me, or the people won't come up against me in a negative way. I can say and do this works because I know that Jesus Christ has my back. So if I place all my faith in him, he's my protector and he's my avenger. So for those that are my enemies, you don't have to deal with me. You have to deal with Jesus Christ because he's my protector and my avenger. This is why I drew this works. I've been through the religion. I've had some bad experiences through the religion of the Catholic Church, through some nuns that were pretending to be of holiness, but there wasn't. But I don't blame the nun, because anybody can be used if they have a spiritual opening. I believe she had a spiritual opening. She was being used to come at me in a negative way. Her job was to install fear upon me, in which she would drag me and lock me up in a dark room like a closet, leave me there for hours. When I used to go to catechism, or should I say, when you do the first communion, you have to go to a parish hall, to classes. Well, there was a nun that came from where the Pope lives, that I believe she had a negative spirit. When I see the movie The Nun, well, she was kind of wicked like that. She already knew what it was. It's kind of like the abilities she had that were of demonic of nature. She knew that there was good in me, so she would target me. She would grab me out of all the kids, and because she knew I was special, she would grab me and drag me and throw me in the closet. She was trying to install fear. When she would open the door, she would say, "Are you afraid?" And I would tell her, "No, God is with me." And she would get mad and lock me up in there. She would do that all the time. When she was down from Italy, she had come visited all the churches. But that's one of the reasons I kind of stayed away from being a Catholic, from the churches, because I witnessed the, how should I say, the corruption within the church. So if the nuns were doing that, then you have the stories of the priests that were doing things against God, right? We've all heard their stories of what the priests have done. So, I don't want to be affiliated with something that was corrupt, spiritually corrupt. So I've chose my own path, and that's why I do the works that I do. Maybe one day I can go more in depth about the nuns, about that nun. I believe her name was Mother Teresa. Yes, Mother Teresa was her name. The same Mother Teresa that passed away not too long ago, that was in charge. That was her. I remember her. I remember people's names. I remember people's faces. But like I said, I don't blame, now that I'm older and have the wisdom and knowledge, by the works that she was doing, the spiritual works that she was doing. I understand by being open and trying to help out people spiritually that you can be affected also. So I don't blame her. I forgive her. I don't blame her because I know there's other forces that cause that wedge, that want us to go against each other, that want us not to believe. You know, there's a lot of people that have left church because of things like that, you know, that they don't go to the church. Me, I just chose my own path, but I still maintain my faith and love with Jesus Christ, and I place him first. So instead of getting involved or in too much of church or places that are corrupt, I just focus on having a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I know that we're all brothers and sisters in Christ. But this is the works that I do, brothers and sisters. You know, I'm just sharing a little bit of me to y'all before I go. I forgive. There was times, it was pretty bad what I went through with that nun, because ever since I was a kid, I would dream her all the time, you know. Even though she wasn't in the valley anymore, I would have bad nightmares about her. But I don't think it was really the nightmares of her. It was the negativity that had her possessed, that was in her, that was trying to affect me. So I was fighting spiritually since I was a kid, you know. So I never seen her again. But I'm more than sure if I got affected that way, there was other children from other towns or however many places she went to that she was affected in that nature also. But I was able to see what was within her, because that ability has always been with me. The smile she had in her face and the ways her eyes looked, I knew that there was something within her. I just didn't have the wisdom and knowledge to be able to say, I take authority over you in Jesus Christ's name, I tie, bind, and rebuke you. Maybe the wisdom and knowledge was always with me, but I just had to remember of who I am spiritually, right? And I know who I am spiritually now. That's why I do the spiritual works. You know, I try to help out as many people as possible. We got Brother Alfred, Brother Michael, Sister Gloria. Yes, I have a lot of wisdom and knowledge to share. I used to go to the retreats and help out people spiritually, the Catholic retreats. Even though when I had stopped going to church and everything happened in my family, the nuns came for me, and the priest, and they wanted me to go to the retreats when I was like 16, 17 years old. And I said, okay, because, you know, I was a good kid. And, you know, I was respectful to my aunts. And I knew one of the nuns, her name was Sister Veronica. She was always nice to me and to my brothers and sisters. So I said, okay, sister, I'll go because it's you. I'll go. And I'll go to the retreats. And when I go to the retreats, I help out people spiritually. You know, when you think you're going through something, there's always somebody going through something worse. So instead of focusing about what I was going through, when you care, you start focusing on what other people are going through. So I will help out my brother and sister spiritually also, you know, just talking to them, sharing my experiences, comparing it to them, and things like that, you know, in which they noticed that, you know, I went to like about three retreats in my teenage years, in which the priest wanted to recruit me to become a priest. They wanted me to join the priesthood when I was 17 years old. But I had a lot of anger in my heart because of what happened in my family with my mother. I had too much anger in my heart to not follow that career because I didn't feel right. You know, I didn't feel like I was a holy person at the time. When you have negativity on you, or you fighting a spiritual war all your life. I didn't feel that way at the time. I feel that way right now. That I can help out people spiritually. You know how I've been helping out people here spiritually on spiritual encrypted encounters, and throughout my life, all the people that I've helped. I know that it's within me to be able to do this works. But at that time when I was 17, I did not know it was within me to be able to do those works. I know now. So that's why I help out people spiritually in this way. I remember a Catholic church, I asked them, can you help me out with this dream that I'm going through? And the priest came and he said, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. This is a 9 to 5 job to me. It's just like a regular job that you do out there. There's a regular job to me. I said, what do you want me to tell you? There's nothing I can tell you to help you. I'm just a regular person like you are. And they're supposed to be a man, or a man with faith, right? A man that they're supposed to be a holy man. That's what the holy man told me. He's just a regular person. That there's nothing he can tell me to help me, because he didn't have the spiritual relationship with Jesus Christ. He didn't have the spiritual wisdom and knowledge with Jesus Christ. Yeah, he might have gone to school to become a priest, but he wasn't fully committed spiritually. So he wouldn't know what to tell me, compared to somebody that has been through the spiritual warfare, that fights daily, that has a spiritual connection to the Heavenly Father, they have the spiritual gifts of discernment. That's the difference. But you know, everything you go through life is, you learn from it. You learn from it that not everybody is the same. Just like I learned here on spiritual encrypted encounters in the cryptic community, not everybody is the same. Not everybody's going to believe what you think. Everybody's going to have their own opinion. Not everybody believes in the spiritual aspect of things. You know, some people want to continue to believe that a Bigfoot and dogman exists in the flesh because they seen it or they shot at it, but there's no body because the bullet supposedly magically went right through them and didn't hurt them. The reason it magically went right through them and didn't hurt them is because they're not of the flesh. They're of disembodied form. They're demonic, you know. You hear it all the time. I hear it when people tell me, I seen a dogman look at me in the woods. It was following me around. Next thing you know, they sent me a message. They said the dogman is living in my living room. The dogman is living in my bedroom, in one of my bedrooms. Well, no, that's a demonic entity. All you got to do is take authority over it and tie by the root in Jesus Christ's name. But at the same time, bless your home, protect your home with spiritual crosses on the doorways and the windows. That's how you protect your home, and you get it out of your house. And you won't have a Bigfoot or a dogman living in your bedroom or in your living room. You know, telling you this, the DDN, they come in many shapes, sizes, and forms. They can shapeshift, so they can take up a whole freaking room. They can look very tall. Someone can look very small. They can manifest in different sizes. So that's how sometimes you cannot see them, because they might be there, but you just can't see them because the ability of manifestation that they have. But always remember, you're never alone spiritually. That Jesus Christ is with you. So when you experience something or going through something, do not fear it, do not anger, maintain your love foundation, tie, bind, and rebuke it in Jesus Christ's name. Call upon the heavenly angels to come and assist you if you feel overwhelmed, and you will overcome the spiritual threat that's in front of you or around you. You will overcome it spiritually. But anyways, I promised my wife that I wouldn't be on too long, and I've been on almost an hour and a half. I hope you all enjoyed this video, brothers and sisters. I'm still waiting for Sister Gloria to have me live again. And whatever you want to talk about, Sister Gloria, just hit me up. We'll make a video. Or whoever wants to do a video or wants to share something here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters, let me know in advance. We'll do some live video here and talk about what you've been through, or what you're going through, you know. So I believe sharing is caring. That's why I created this group, to assist one another spiritually. You're welcome, Sister Lee. Lee Kennedy. Is it Lee Kennedy? We got Marshy Boondocks. Yes, I'll tell you what. If anybody ever decides to come through, I live right off the freeway off of 35. All right, I'll take it to the area, but I just don't want nothing to happen to anybody. To where I go investigate, you know, I can take it to Elms Grove, but Elms Grove is in Killeen. I live in Temple. But imagine this: it's already nighttime. You finished your investigation. It's 3:30 in the morning, and you're fixing to come off the live, and you hear footsteps running towards you, but it sounds like hoofs, like something running in hoofs. And you look to see if it's a deer, but all you hear is the hoof sounds coming at you. So you say, "I type bind and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name," and it stops. Well, that's what it does. You know, it tries to find a spiritual opening, and the one he uses. People ask me, "How come there's always dogmen and Bigfoots in your videos?" And I was like, "No, that's not a dogman or a Bigfoot. Those are DDN, disembodied demonic Nephilim, or demons. They manifest to look beastly for the fear factor, right? That's a spiritual opening, the fear factor. So if somebody sees something in nature, they're going to get scared, right? Because they're seeing something big, something beastly. So if that's not working, then the next step is, let's make sound effects, like hoof marks running towards them. So they're literally, something invisible is running towards you to see if you're going to get scared. So when I hear it, I say, "I tie, bind, and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name." And I don't give it the power of fear, because I'm standing up against it, and it stops. And then I say, "You're not allowed to follow me home." You know, I take authority over it. You're not allowed to follow me home. And then I say, "I tie, bind, and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name." Whatever's there around me or near me, you're not allowed to follow me home. But that's what they do. They try to cause all kinds of, I am not going to say it's distractions. I'll say disembodied sounds, voices, whether they're talking a different dialect, whether they're making growling sounds, whether they're manifesting near me, where they're passing through my parallel vision pretty fast, whether I hear a woman or a child, or whether I'm hearing footsteps or something running to me, it sounds like hoofs. That's all for the fear factor. That's why they create all the havoc, right? Moving of branches, something stomping in the woods. It's trying to find an opening of fear, but I don't give it that. I say, "I tie, bind, and rebuke in Jesus Christ's name." So if anybody is ever in a situation like that, do not believe what you're seeing. Do not believe what you're hearing, because that's a spiritual opening that they're trying to use to come up against you and try to spiritually attack you. So you do the opposite. Do not fear it. Do not believe in it. And you take authority over to Jesus Christ, and you say, "I tie, bind, and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name." And all the activity that's happening around you, guess what's going to happen? It'll stop just like that. When you say, "I take authority over you in Jesus Christ's name. I tie, bind, and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name." All the activity that you're hearing ceases, you know, because they leave. They don't want to deal with Jesus Christ. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed tonight's video. At the beginning of the video, I was talking about a certain individual, about stolen valor, but then I went to the spiritual aspect of this. So I'm going to make one video, but I might split it in two. I'm not sure yet, because it was two different things that I spoke of. But anyways, thank you all for tuning in here tonight. God bless every single one of y'all. Once I start feeling better, brothers and sisters, I'm going to try to place a time of when I'm going to go live in advance. You know, I just haven't been, I'm feeling better, but I'm still trying to recuperate for what happened to me a week ago. But thank you all for tuning in. We had Lee Kennedy, Michael Cougar, Brother Al, Primo Jesus, cousin Susie, Sister Holly, Sister Madeline, Cousin Maria, Marcy, and Sister Dawn. I want to thank you all for tuning in tonight. And y'all have a beautiful, blessed evening. Let me do a little prayer before we go. Heavenly Father, this time I'd like to pray for all my brothers and sisters that might be going through something spiritually. If there is anything happening, first of all, I would like to place heavenly crosses on our doorways and our windows of our household, and of course, on our personal foundation from head to toe. We take an authority over anything negative that might be afflicting us in any kind of way. We take an authority over you in Jesus Christ's name. We tie, bind, and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name. You're not allowed to affect us in any kind of way or shape or form. This I pray in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Thank you all for tuning in. God bless every single one of y'all. You have a beautiful, blessed evening. Peace, everyone.